Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. We're back with another one. This time we're on Colony, though. Gonna try some Ronin out today, actually. Moving away from Monarch. After playing with her extensively, decided to go back to my bread and butter, my pride and joy, my one and only, my main squeeze, Ronin. Really happy. Kind of missed it a little bit, honestly. I miss being able to get up close, and that shotgun, oof, God, sings to me. So, yeah, we're back. Gonna see what's going on today with this. I'm kind of interested to see what is gonna go on with the rest of the game now that I'm not as focused on Monarch. I'm gonna start focusing on some other things. Mostly what came in the last patch that came along with Monarch, which I feel like it's been talked about, obviously, but not as much just because it was such a big release for Monarch, you know, what was going on and stuff. So, yeah, so I have the patch notes kind of memorized. I'll try to see if I remember everything I want to talk about. But I do remember one thing I really wanted to talk about was the new pilot kit that came out, which I believe is called Titan Hunter. Yeah, Titan Hunter. Which basically gives you, I think it was a 10% bonus to your Titan meter when you're killing a Titan. I believe that extends to core. I can't remember if core, was it core? Might not be core, but I know it's definitely for any Titan kill. It got your Titan meter up by 10%, which I think is a really cool addition. I think it's gonna really play a bigger part in how the flow of matches go sometimes, by how many times you have someone actually dropping their Titan based on how efficient they're being when they're actually as a pilot. So that'll be interesting to see if you start seeing some pilot kits where people are just running, you know, two pilot Titan killing weapons instead of, you know, their main gun, and then their secondary is their Titan killer. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a shake-up, a little nice to see something being a little bit different. So I'm looking forward to that. I mentioned this before in my last video, but Volt got a buff, which I think is awesome. I really miss that gun. I have yet to test it out. Hopefully I can soon. I think it got, yeah, what was it? Near damage and amp near damage got increased. So basically everything got increased for near damage, which is good because it's an SMG. That's where you're trying to use it. I think they neutered it, and it took forever for them to finally unneuter it. And so then, what was the next gun change? Flatline got a little bit of a nerf, which I think is good. It's kind of in a weird place. I'm gonna have to test it out a little bit and see what I think about it. But basically, the damage both on regular and amped got reduced to kind of make it a little bit more like the Wrestler assault rifle, so it wasn't like overpowered or had the most damage when compared to the rest by a long shot. Only problem I have with that is it still has, and I know some people will agree, some people disagree on what this is like, but the RNG bullets, as I like to call them, with how kind of weird the accuracy is on that gun, I'm a little concerned as to what it's going to do to its overall usability, just because I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to kill people at the same kind of efficiency or at the same kind of good rate with less damage when I'm already trying to fight the bullets and the accuracy. So I hope it doesn't, like, not straight up eliminate the flatline from regular play, but reduces it quite a bit, like it did with the Volt. I don't think it's going to do what it did to the Volt. I think Respawn has learned not to go overkill with their nerfs as far as that goes. But we'll see. So I believe the R2 on R101 also got a little bit of a change. I think it was very fire damage got a little bit increased, which I don't think for the most part most people are going to really notice. I don't think it's going to make it such an overpowered gun that people are going to start sniping you from half across and getting, like, you know, 3 shots and killing you or anything like that. But I think it's a little good thing to see, just because it did seem to drop off quite a bit. And sometimes I just feel like I could empty quite a bit into people from very far away and be on target, but still just kind of not be rewarded for it. So that's kind of good. And then one of my godsend from Respawn, thank you so much. I'm going to send them flowers, chocolates, I don't even care. I love you so much. The Devotion got damage reduced in all aspects, both its amped and regular damage. And it also, basically, so what this does is it requires it to ramp up more. So that dreaded sound of hearing that thing finally spinning up, it's going to take longer into that cycle for it to actually to be more effective than a Spitfire, which I kind of see as like the base kind of base level, kind of what you want from an LMG. Like, it hits pretty hard, but not too much. You just have to be pretty accurate with it. But when you really get on point, it rewards you for it. So that's really good. So I'm really happy to see Devotion get a little bit of a nerf. We'll see how much it actually like makes a difference with how much it gets used. But Lord knows, man, whenever I get killed by that thing, I'm just a little salty about it. Especially if it's the same guy like 4 or 5 times. Like, not my favorite thing, but we'll see how it goes. And just as I say that, it's a Devotion. And I know I was a little low on health, but still, like, that thing is just always going to irk me from day one. I don't think I'll ever not hate that gun. But anyway, and then what were the other ones? Oh yeah, the DMR damage got reduced a little bit for body shots. I didn't really notice this in console play, but maybe it makes a little bit of difference in you know, PC play because people are a little more accurate with it. I don't really see DMR like ever on console. It's usually more prevalent to see, I guess, a Kraber, if anything. I've seen a lot of double takes, but I don't really see the DMR too much for for sniper rifles. So we'll see if that makes a difference here. But always good to see stuff, you know, not feeling like it's rewarding you too much for that or over rewarding you. And then the P2016 got reduced quite a bit too. I think it was the near damage, and I think it got a little bit reduced at very far as well. So I think what Respawn's trying to do is, and I'm sure people have seen those videos of people where they're running around with a 2016 and they're just going absolutely crazy with it, acting like it's their main. Especially if you get amped. That thing can actually hit you pretty hard if it's amped. But I think they were just trying to bring it more in line to be something you take out as a last resort in case, you know, you're in a very chaotic firefight, you run out of ammo, instead of waiting to reload, you get that. So I think that's a really good thing. And that's really the only kind of thing that I can say about any of the secondaries right now is the P2016 felt a little bit too much like a main for what I think they intended it to be. And then the R97 got a very far damage reduction, I believe, but not anything for near or far, which I think for the most part isn't really going to do a lot to change anything about the gun or how much you see it or how well it performs, just because unless you're really on point with your aim, that thing really, you don't really see many people getting insane kills with that from very far away, at least on console from what I've seen. I don't play on PC, so maybe it's a lot different there with the accuracy. But for me, the R97's always been kind of a very up close kind of, you know, spray, you know, overwhelm them with your rate of fire kind of gun up close. It's never really something I've used from very far away to too much success, so I don't think it's going to change too much, but we'll see. And then I know finally, and I'm gonna see how this turns out, but I haven't noticed a difference in my small amount of play. I haven't been paying attention to it very much, but I haven't seen much of a difference. Is the Tactical mod? I believe they lowered the cooldown period from 35 to 25, which may seem like it would change a lot, but I haven't noticed a difference. I think for the most part, as long as that meter is building up like a little bit and you're not, you know, you've just used up, like say you're using a grapple hook and you use both your charges and then you get a kill, it won't immediately fill it up, but it'll get there pretty close. I think what they meant to do was so you couldn't use like 2 of your phase shifts, get a kill, and then instantly use another phase shift to get out of that, and then kill another person, and then rinse and repeat, and have this crazy, like, you know, phasing in and out of the universe kind of deal. And I think same thing with the grapple hook. I don't think they wanted to have people be able to grapple in, jump around, acting like goddamn Spider-Man, and then get a kill, and then instantly hook out of there and get out of danger. I think they wanted to reduce that reward, or the amount you could really abuse it, just a little bit, but I haven't noticed too much of a difference. I think it's just going to take away that very, like, quick succession kind of deal, but I still think, for the most part, it's going to kind of remain the same, which, honestly, I don't have too much of a problem with. I think if you're a decent enough player, you can kind of predict, honestly, where phase shift, when people use it, they have that trail that kind of shows where they're going, and after 2, you know they're screwed, because they've run out of their charges. So unless you're in a really chaotic space, I don't see that being too much of a problem. And grapple hook, like, I know for me, it's my bread and butter. I love that thing. I don't really use anything but that. But I don't feel like unless there's going to be very rare instances, like I said, where I use 2 right in a row, get a kill, and then I need to really get out very quickly, I don't think I'm really going to see much of a difference from it. I haven't noticed any, really. Not that I've been really paying attention, but yeah. And then I think there were just some bug fixes and stuff that came along. So Respawn's obviously doing a pretty good job about fine-tuning stuff, not just in the overall meta as far as, like, you know, with the Titan, making sure everything, you know, is running as smooth as it should. Obviously that was like one of their big priorities, but still keeping the rest of the metagame strong and listening to the community. I think Respawn does a really good job of listening to community really well and really just trying to keep everyone happy as much as possible and good quality of life for the game, because I know for me, I've played other FPSs and other multiplayer games where, you know, there's that one thing that just gets heavily abused or is way too overpowered. I remember, God, Modern Warfare days, like Modern Warfare 2, when it was, I think it was the MP45. That thing might as well have been like the best assault rifle you've ever seen with the highest rate of fire ever. Thing was absolutely insane, and they didn't patch it. Like, that thing was just a beast from launch day to the time I stopped playing, and that was a long time. And so I think Respawn really understands that for their longevity to continue and for the community to stay strong and not get frustrated and bail, that they need to do these quality of life changes, and honestly, good on them for it. I really appreciate it. Sure, I know everyone else in the community does. You know, can say that I know this is very biased opinion. This is probably just me splitting hairs and being a little bit of a whiner, but I wanted that devotion nerf to come for so long, and I'm really happy it finally did. We'll see how much it actually changes, but I'm really pumped about it. But now that we have Monarch out, we've gotten the 2 Prime Titans, and we've gotten another new map in Relic. We still have a couple new maps coming, I believe. But other than that, I haven't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything noteworthy that they've talked about so far that's going to be coming out. So I'm really curious to see what Respawn does next. Like, what is going to be their priority? Are they going to shake things up again and introduce like 1 or 2 new guns? Or is it just going to be more game modes? Or are they going to... I mean, this game got released like 6 months ago, which I feel like is crazy because that's a pretty good span of time for a game, especially in the, you know, cycle of yearly releases that a lot of multiplayer FPS games kind of inhabit, you know. Annual releases, you know, the CODs and the Battlefields, they all come out year after year. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do after, you know, what's going to be 7-8 months, I think, by the time they're all done releasing content for free. I don't know if we'll see paid content. I don't think they will, honestly, from my own personal opinion, just based on what they've been doing. I think the free DLC thing has served the community well. It's kept it healthy. It's kept it from being kind of like segregated and split, which I think has been one of the best things about Titanfall. Everyone is involved in the same amount. Anything that's released for paid has not affected the metagame at all. You don't feel like, you know, you are required or somehow need to buy something to stay competitive, which is really great. I think they're doing it right, and I'm really hoping to see what they do next and kind of keep the community really engaged, and honestly just how inventive they get. I mean, Respawn's proven they can get really inventive with the stuff they do, introducing new mechanics, new executions. I mean, God, I mean, not that it has anything to do with multiplayer, but that single player campaign, they're very innovative with how they think about stuff and how they use different kind of gameplay techniques and how they do stuff. So we'll see what they do. I'm sure there'll be some other patches coming, quality of life stuff that we'll see, which I'm really looking forward to. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head right now that I'd want nerfed. Oh, nope, I can. Yep, definitely. The one thing I pray to every baby god in the universe that they do is nerf G2. I don't know what they need to do. Maybe it needs to be very far damage or reduce the rate of fire or something, but that thing just seems to rip apart people way too quickly. I know I get frustrated when I go into some maps. Mostly it's like, I believe it's Homestead, some of the larger maps that have wide open expanses. I feel like those maps especially, that thing gets abused, and it's just, it could use a tweaking. I'm not sure what exactly, but it needs a tweak. and I have other stuff on the top of my head, but we'll talk about that later. So thanks for checking out the video, guys. Let me know what you think. Drop a like and subscribe if you want. I will check you later, though. Peace.